So on the 26th of March, which is just a couple days ago, a probably one of the biggest actions on behalf of staff happened in the game. If I'm not mistaken, and that is the Galahad Creative, SimpleMMO staff team. They released a statement and the actions they took against a specific guild, Babel, and the guild members associated. Not every guild member, but certain bad actors from the perspective of the SimpleMMO staff team. So I think this is the first time in history this has happened in the game. Something on this scale, not targeting, but taking action against a guild for things that were done behind a private Discord, which that's, so we're going to talk about that later. But yeah, we're going to roll into the announcement. I'm sure everyone has read this. I'm sure it gives you PTSD, but here we go. This is the announcement, and it starts with, damn, dude, they need to use Grammarly. They really need to use Grammarly here.
It sounds like you're just struggling.
No, look, we've recently been made. That's not a sentence, dude. That's not even APA format. We've been made aware of various communications that have been happening within one guild, Babel, and concern has arisen. Who wrote this? Over the toxic environment nursed by them. We've usually been dealing with these on an ad hoc basis, and recently we notified the guild leaders that their in-game activities go against the spirit of the game and they risk getting an EXP penalty. And this is alluding to, or not alluding to, but this is referencing Shadow Gardens. I'm pretty sure this is referencing the incident between Shadow Garden and Babel, which started over with petty discourse within the game to just Babel 3xing Shadow Garden outside of a war. So not really any justification there, at least on paper. And that's when their activities were reported to staff, and they were going to be levied a guild EXP tax against them for, I
believe it was a 15%.
Right, if they were to continue attacking Shadow Garden. However, we have only been made aware of various sickening comments that have recently happened within their guild Discord server, with their guild's Discord server. After a thorough review, the guild channel in question is toxic, filled with inappropriate, disrespectful, hurtful, and downright disgusting comments. It has turned into a place that contains negativity, disdain, and disgust with seemingly little moderation. Holy shit! What a statement about that's like, are they looking at homie chat and couch chat? I'm just kidding, but that is a statement, dude. We very rarely intervene in anything that is not within the game. So this is a very important part here. This is a situation under exceptional circumstances, and it has forced our hand. We do not want to identify or be identified with such a set of people who are conspicuously against the positive spirit that the game has cultivated over years since its inception. We are also strongly concerned about such a community being so easily exposed to our players and seemingly driven on hatred towards the game, its moderation team, and its developers. Thank you, Shu, for the 50, was that pound?
I don't think it is.
I don't know what that is, but Shu, thank you so much. Happy birthday to us. Thank you. And that's your first super. All right, moving on to more depressing things. Example of such communications include unsavory, tasteless comments regarding tragic real-life events that personally affected some members of the community, sexist and what is that? Ableist comments?
Ableist, yeah.
Threats of violence. This has led to the different individuals in the game being either banned or sanctioned according to the obscenities that have been discussed in the Discord server. Any sanctioned players, which will be showing this soon, will not be allowed to join any guild in the game, coupled with a communication mute for 6 months. That is wild. So not only did your Discord server get ripped open, but essentially you just got a 6-month mute, and you're not allowed to join any other guild in the game. Holy shit. Where was I? The guild has been sanctioned in that they won't be allowed to recruit for 1 month. On top of that, for 7 days, they are given a chance to get their community and Discord server up to an acceptable standard, which, that's to Galahad Creative's, perception of what an acceptable standard is. Moving forward, we would like to make it extremely clear. This is a situation under exceptional circumstances, and we do sincerely hope that in the future there will not be any necessity for us to impose such drastic measures. We are aware that not everybody in the guild is guilty in this. The majority of the offenses stem from a very small segment of the guild. We've tailored these sanctions towards the individuals in the guild involved, providing them with an opportunity to correct their behavior. Please note that our official, now this, I think this is,
Scroll down, please.
thank you. I think this is the most important post here. Please note that our official policy is not to interfere or have our say in any matters other than those through official communication channels. This, for example, Simple's Discord server and the in-game chat system. We do support and understand that in private communication channels, every person has the full right to express their opinion. In this regard, however, the negativity was being spat so much that it became forceful. We wouldn't, quite frankly, want the game associated with such a group. All right, so that's the official announcement. It's still
That
there.
last sentence is actually wild.
Yeah. The game, like, literally distancing themselves from a collective group of players. Which I feel like can only really happen in a small scale MMO. I want to show what this sanction looks like. All right, so this is what the sanction, if you were sanctioned, this is what it looked like. You have been sanctioned due to your communication and behavior in Babel's official guild Discord server. And as we have emphasized strongly in the past, we typically avoid intervening in external matters, but the nature of the discussions have forced our hand. You have been removed from the guild and have been given a 6-month ban from joining other guilds. You have also been muted from any in-game communications for 6 months. Please note that our official policy is not to interfere or have our say in any matters other than those through official communications. We do support, it's pretty much what we just read. So you get kicked out of your guild and then you're just like, you're solo leveling and locked to yourself for 6, you're confined to yourself.
Yeah, I did not think that was possible. One, calling it sanctions now is pretty interesting because I don't think we've seen that before.
Yeah,
we heard folks talk about locks and bans and mutes, but never sanction. So that's an interesting terminology that was pulled for this. And then also, this type of punishment we haven't seen, punishment or consequences, whatever you want to call them, or sanctions
in a game.
We've never seen this before. To include just sanctioning an entire guild, which is insane. Because we've never seen a guild punishment before. We've seen, player punishment, but not a guild punishment. So this is a first in many different regards. It was absolutely wild to walk out of work to see this. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and it just begs the question: what was said? What?
Yeah.
I can only imagine, threat to life. I can only imagine like threats of doxing, anything to, affect someone's like real life, or business, which would be, Mike in Galahad Creative, because mainly the SimpleMMO staff is volunteer. The mods don't get, they get pleb, okay, but like the mods are volunteered, guardians, aka advisors, are volunteered. The other tags are kind of like, they're just, chosen. The admin at, it was Wick. She was the like only paid employee at the time I knew. And now it's probably Yomu. And of course, the artist of the game, whoever it is at the time, is like a contractor. So they're not paid throughout the year. They're paid per event.
Employee. Yeah.
So obviously if you have, strong beef with the game, it's probably going to land squarely on Mike's shoulders for the most part, or at least he's going to feel it the most. I don't think we will ever know, like, from SimpleMMO staff, what they saw to enact this announcement. I don't think we should know. I don't want to know. No, absolutely not. And I will say SimpleMMO staff does a good job of keeping that shit under wraps. Like, of course, people find out from, other players, but I don't think we will ever find out from SimpleMMO staff what occurred. And the only thing I could imagine is like SimpleMMO staff and the key group of individuals that they have an issue with within Babel have that communication, if that is even a thing. But yeah,
It's interesting. It is probably the harshest punishment we've seen outside of just straight bans, which I mean some people got straight bans.
Yeah. Soft blanket for one. Yeah.
Yep. It is definitely the harshest punishment considering the announcement, right? Like I think it's the announcement piece and the verbiage that they specifically used in their announcement was very direct and very frank of like, this is unacceptable. We don't want you, and you're punished.
Yeah, I will say, I never thought I would see staff action like this in a game like this. Been playing the game for years, but they took action. So I mean, good or bad. I mean, staff has had challenges, right? The whole I would say the Ubi fiasco was a huge challenge for Mike and the staff to navigate. The community is still feeling that one. Yeah. Whether you're on, the left or right of it.
Right.
So, and now we have this. We have the top guild being sanctioned like Iran, it's like holy shit. I'm like reading like an Intel news feed. I'm like, dude, whoa.
That's the way when they use sanctions. I'm thinking like, okay, U.S. government is now sanctioning another nation state. Like, what is going on?
Is that
like,
another Iranian tanker with weapons going to Russia? Oh damn, but very interesting. So let's move on to the community, Babel's community reaction to the sanctions, the dismantling of the core group or some of the core group. Some things I don't have screens of, but things I wanted to capture, I do. So one thing of note that happened were I call it ill-named item dumps to flame chat and Mike and staff. So that was very immediate. Everyone could see it, obviously, because when you dump a celestial, check and see it. That was a very obvious thing that they were doing there. So emotions were high. We've seen this shit before from them, and it was sad to see that some players were partaking in it to the very end. Other things, we had prominent, at least within Babel, right, and even their levels and their involvement in the game, whether they're collectors, merchants, whatever. We had prominent Babel members saying goodbye to the game.
Ender said, quitting letter. Hello, Babel. I know I have not interacted with most of you, but I hope that I have at least impacted your play in some way. Given the recent interference from staff in our guild's operations, I have decided to leave the game. This game has been paling steadily since about 2019, around the time when creator was forced out of Galahad Creative by Michael Dawson. Given this game's lack of direction, its tendency to attract people who are incredibly narcissistic, self-centered, and totally lacking in morals, I cannot see this game as a positive fit to me going forward. If you have ever had a problem with me, feel free to message me personally on Discord so I can resolve it peacefully. You all have been absolutely delightful to be around, and nothing but encouraging and kind, a genuine boon to what I hold dear. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. God bless you all.
Yeah, that was my grind was fueled by the players that came before me and hopefully inspired those that have come through after me. Today, I decided to hang up the boots for the foreseeable future. If this game is still for you, then I wish you the best. Perhaps I will be back one day. I bet he will. Most people do. It's like, this game's addicting.
Ramen.
Ramen.
Yeah.
To all the players that inspired me along the way, and to all the players that I helped inspire, it has been a pleasure. If this is goodbye, I wish you nothing but the best in SimpleMMO, but more importantly in life. Well, thanks, Mr. Wright. During the development of this situation, everyone was asking what's going to happen in the battle.
Yeah.
And we had no official word from Alucard, right? I mean, it was just happening in real time.
Yep.
But here, this was shared. I snagged this because, oh my god, it's just so long. So Alucard said, hey everyone, due to the recent turn of events, I will be retiring the guild permanently. So if you would continue to play the game after this season, you can start looking for other guilds to join. Regards, Alex. Yeah, that was the official retirement message to Babel. Yeah, and then I think what really showcases the mentality of those affected in Babel is Soft Blanket's profile comments. Okay, they're banned, obviously. You were silent, or were you silenced? So here we go. So here's Duck, who's here in chat. What they did to you was unfair. Sail off into the sunset soft. You're the cutest doggo glass armor owner I know. 1984. I don't think anyone's read that book. Fella Kava says, the best blanket to ever grace this earth. You brought me into Babel and I will die here with you. Holy shit, fella. Are you still alive, dude? Fella?
Fella is in our chat.
I know, but he could have died already. Fella.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
I actually don't even know who this is. Says, I still wondering why. So wondering why you can got banned. I'm still okay. The English
Your
reading the
struggle
first.
bus.
I'm wondering why you got banned. I'm wondering why you must be like this. You were a great leader and very great friend. Here's my sign here, as in signing their profile with their comment. Your name will always be in my journey in SimpleMMO and in my heart, of course. For whoever you're reading this, let me tell you guys one thing, and as always, you can mark my word. This dude, my friend Soft, is very generous and very kind. And so you're seeing this reaction. So here's the thing. Obviously, they must have had a great community to themselves. Obviously, there was a reason why this happened. So there's the balance, okay? I just want to keep that in mind. Like, they were obviously great to each other. Dizzy says, goodbye, my only friend in this game. You were only great to me. Shame on them. And then there's Babel. I saw a couple. I mean, I'm not going to read the and then there's, of course, Disdain with the 1984 that no one read. Giovanni said, a leader that radiates both charisma and honor. You have no idea how you had awakened me to grind this game, to this player that I find to have the best set of gear in this game. The glass set you wear, ethereal and unyielding, mirrors the clarity of your leadership and the transparency of your intentions. Refracting the light of your achievements into the lives of those you touch, I hereby pay my respects. Thank you for being with us, Soft. Here to pay my respect to a fallen legend and a fallen soldier. They are trying to demolish what you and our leaders built, and they might succeed in doing so, but they will never break the bond that our members here with or have with you and that I have with you. You might be banned here, but you'll never be banned from spreading laughter and join our Discord. I wish you the best and no tomatoes for you. You ain't worth the waste. Oh my, dude, that was a good one. So Pengi, who's Cotton Candy, I believe. Never a better best friend besides Alucard, Dis, Fella, Chul, Ender, and so many more. You, my good blanket, will continue to reside in my day-to-day life. Chatting and enjoying what true joys life has to offer. You are one of the best free-to-play players by far that this game has ever seen. No tomatoes for you, only hearts of love. Damn, dude, like, did you catch a bullet? Holy fuck. Some of these are just really emotional. And I'm not going to fault it for it. And then Water Jello, who's already made their own guild and is just, in their own character arc. It's a cold day in hell when even a blanket can't exist among the common man. Hopefully one day you'll be avenged, my fallen blanket. One day. What does that mean? But anyway, I just wanted to show kind of like the hurt that some Babel members were going through.
Yeah, definitely a lot of emotion in this one. I mean, they were the #1 guild. I guess technically until they're not. It is very interesting to see how the community, the SimpleMMO community, is going to grow from this and move on from it. It's going to be interesting to see that for sure. I mean, we see the quick reactions on both sides, right? We're not covering is a lot of the bad stuff and that occurred as well with the emotions.
People got their bans and mutes
across both sids, right? So
yeah, there was flame. I even got a warning, okay, for my one joke. I got a warning, so I was like, all right, never mind, I'm out.
It will be interesting to see if another guild takes their place, or if there multiple guilds splinter out, or what is going to happen for, this is a first place guild that's been around for a while and dominating the entire time. So what's going to happen there, we don't know. It'll be interesting to see as time goes on. It'll be interesting to see how many of these Babel folks find new homes once their punishments are removed, or if they continue playing. I mean, some of them have already said they're done, which we just read off, or if they even come back later on, and if they're welcomed when they do come back. Interesting to see for sure. And I wonder how many are going to play Idle MMO instead.
The last thing I wanted to go over,
sure,
and I'm not here to answer them or discuss them, but these are two things I was thinking about, CrazyFi, when I made these notes. These are the questions that remain.
Okay.
So Gala Creative stated that the Babel situation in using their private Discord as justification was an extreme one-off circumstance. So that begs the question, and we already talked about this earlier, what was said and what actual, what would warrant Galahad Creative's intervention. And the second thing is the freedom of speech aspect versus the private interest of an organization and or business. And I'm sure a lot of you, at first glance, heck, my take on this. I had a stepping stream where I was criticizing Mr. Wright, where he had a take that said SimpleMMO should enforce like anti-harassment and other rules in other discords. That didn't age well, but I definitely do not believe in it. But then again, private organizations and businesses have a right to conduct their business in a certain way and take actions in a certain way that benefit their business or protect their assets and their people. So I just want you to be aware of that. This isn't a giant public domain game like WoW, okay? This is a indie game. It's very close hold, very small community. At the end of the day, I believe Galahad Creative is going to do what's, best for them in certain situations like this. But that's pretty much what I had.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like, Galahad Creative could go off and, ban me for all they wanted and be like, yeah, didn't like them, get fucked. And you know what? Yeah, their stream sucked so bad. We had higher expectations, banned. And it's like, you know what? Like, yeah, cool. Like, there's nothing, like, they own this property. Like, SimpleMMO is their game, right? Like, they own it. They can do what they want with it. Whether or not it's good or bad for the community, the game itself, and the longevity of the game, that's that's one thing. That's a different conversation. But they could ban anyone they want at any point, do whatever they want at any point, because this is their property and their IP. So
just like Cutie said in chat, terms of service says you can get removed without any reason at any point. Yeah.
So like that, at the end of the day, that's what it is. So I don't know. It's wild. I still can't get over the fact, like, one, I didn't know the game allowed the backend to allow for guild sanctions. So pretty interesting. Hopefully we don't have to see this again. Hopefully everyone stays within line and within the community idea that they have, and then hopefully no one pushes the boundary again, because Lord knows.
Damn, dude, if you hate a game and if you hate the staff so much, don't play the game. Just save the heartbreak, find another game together. Play like
Idle MMO.
Play Ironwood RPG, dude. It's the best game.
Yeah, there's no chat there.
Yeah, there's no chat. You can't get in trouble.
Just hang in your hang in your Discord and chat
Babel. There's no chat, so you're fine. But yeah, it's just I think it's the craziest thing to happen to such a not notorious, but like a high vis guild, like the top guild within the seasonal guild leaderboard since we've been running this thing. Yeah. All right.